man, what it is, what it do, guys. This your boy, the one and only DJ Brando.
D Mugger.
And this is our review for All Elite Wrestling's Double or Nothing 2020. All right, man, let's not waste no time. Let's get straight into the casino ladder match. So this match right here will start off with SCU versus SCU. Well, we would see Scorpio Sky and
Frankie Kazarian.
Yes, start this match off. So, man, what was your thoughts on
First
SCU
thoughts
versus SCU at the beginning of this match?
First thoughts was, this match is going to be awesome. SCU versus SCU. And then I see these red ladders.
Right.
And as soon as I seen the red ladders, I was like, oh, that's the route they're going to go.
Right.
Right. It clearly wasn't the normal ladder you see in a wrestling match.
Yeah, you can still see the painter holes at the top of some of the ladders, and that's one of the things I noticed as well. Like, WWE, they modify their ladders a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And
I don't think that's the secret.
Yeah, I don't think that's the same deal with AEW.
Right.
Yeah, I noticed the red ladders, and I don't know. I think this was the first ladder match in AEW.
I think, maybe not, but I think
no,
so.
I think it was. They had a steel cage match.
Yep.
But last year they did the Casino Battle Royal. So I think this was the first ladder match under the AEW banner. But
Right.
if I'm wrong, you guys be sure to correct me.
Yeah, write it in the comments below.
All right, so let's move on, man. What did you think about the Darby Allin skateboard dive off the top of one of those red ladders? What you thought about that?
My honest opinion, just a pointless spot. But if I put my opinion aside and I just look at it, the dude ran up the ladder and jumped off it with a skateboard through a ladder.
Through a ladder, yeah. And that's what I felt like. I think that spot would have been a little bit better if he actually went through one of his opponents and connected. But for him, just to jump on the skateboard and dive through the ladder and just go through the ladder, that made absolutely no sense. No. Moving along, man. Mm-hmm. What do you think about Orange Cassidy and his entrance? Basically taking his entire 2 minutes, and he took forever to get to the ring, and he really didn't do much.
He didn't do much. He walked to the ring so slow, so lazy. But that being said, I loved it because he wasted the whole, minute and 30? 2 minutes? He wasted the whole time coming to the ring. So by the time he got to the ring, it was somebody else's turn to come out. You know?
Yep.
How did you feel about first of all, Phoenix being out. Second of all, Havoc just appearing out of nowhere, even though he wasn't even in the match, in a white suit.
Well, yesterday I read some online and they said that Phoenix was cleared, so I was expecting for Phoenix to participate tonight.
Oh wow!
But as we see earlier today, it came out that he was not cleared, and indeed he was replaced by Joey Janela. And I felt like Joey Janela should have been in this match anyway. And due to the fact that Ray Phoenix would have been in the match and Pentagon Jr. wouldn't have been in the match, and we know them as a tag team,
That would have been, but
Yeah, it would have been a little bit awkward. So, it's not like they had plans on Ray Phoenix actually winning this thing.
Right. They just needed a body.
Right.
It is what it is.
And it really did not make a difference.
Mm-mm.
And pretty much Joey Janela fit right in that environment. Now, let's get to the big debut, man. What about your boy Brian Cage not coming along? He had Taz. So what do you think is going on, man, with the debuting Brian Cage and Taz? And this will not be the first time we talk about Brian Cage. This is just the first of a couple times we bring Brian Cage up. But let me get your thoughts and opinions and what you think is about to happen with Brian Cage and the human suplex machine Taz over in All Elite.
So when I first seen him come out, I've never really seen him, So I was like, dude, he's huge, big guy. I noticed this later on in the match. I don't know if he was wearing a mouthpiece or if he just had his tongue was blue. But I did notice that. However, him and Taz, I think that's a scary combination. Yeah,
I never really followed Cage. I started hearing about Cage around last year.
Right, he was in Impact.
I believe he was. I think he was their world champion for a minute, if I'm not.
which is a major accomplishment in its own right.
But
right?
at the same time, he has been one of the hottest free agents in all of pro wrestling. Him and Killer Cross.
Yes.
And of course, we see Killer Cross make that move over to NXT, and now we see Brian Cage debuting over at AEW. I kind of thought that Cage would end up in WWE or NXT as well, but evidently that was not the case. All right, so we'll get back to Brian Cage later.
Did you catch the botches? Right as that was happening, there was a couple botches. Colt Cabana, I don't know if he was supposed to hang on to the ladder or not, but they pushed the ladder over and then he was hanging on, but his fingers got caught.
I think he crushed his fingers in the ladder. I don't know if that was a botch or was that in there, but they played it off. But it probably was real because they did take the camera off him for a while, and he would come back into the match. But he really did make, a big impact in the match anyway.
Right.
But me personally, man, I'm just glad to see Colt Cabana on a major scale, man.
Absolutely.
Colt Cabana was friends with CM Punk for all those years, and then they ended up having a falling out. And salute to Colt Cabana anyway, man, because he was one of those guys that opened the door for what we're doing, man, like wrestling podcasts in general. So I was always a fan of his podcast.
Absolutely.
And
did you hear the explicit or the explicit?
Yes, that's what I was about to say next, man. The loud profanity.
Yikes.
You motherfuckers.
Wow, I mean, I wrote, he has fucking motherfucker live through our television.
But you got to understand, guys, this is not on TNT.
Nope.
This is pay-per-view.
And it's also not PG.
And I don't think AEW is not PG. I don't know what actually they rate themselves. I don't know if they rate themselves TV MA for mature audience or are they 14 or TV 14 or PG 13. I don't know, but I know for a fact AEW is not a PG product.
Right.
All right, back to Brian Cage, man. How do you feel about everybody piling everything from the kitchen sink to tables to ladders to chairs to big casino chips on top of the debut Brian Cage, trying to take him out of this match?
Dude, great spot, but it was ruined because the camera didn't pick up it didn't pick him coming
escaping
out.
Yeah, you're right.
The camera came back over his shoulder and he was already out of the rubble. It was like, what's the point if you're not going to catch that big, that's why they did it, I assume, right?
Yeah, and
so
that kind of reminded me of one of those WWE spots back when The Fiend and Seth Rollins went at it at Hell in a Cell
and he buried him. Yep.
So that kind of reminded me of that. Okay.
I honestly thought it was kind of a sloppy match.
All right, so
all around.
Yeah, this match was kind of sloppy at first, and towards the end, it started to pick up a little bit of momentum. But yeah, they were all over the place at first. All right, let's move on to Penelope Cruz interfering in this match, actually climbing up the ladder. Now we're gonna get to her match later on, but you know that Britt Baker got hurt this past Wednesday on Dynamite, and she was taken out of the match at Double or Nothing
on another stupid
spot.
And
she was replaced by Penelope Cruz. Now, I think that was a bad idea. I'm sorry, Penelope Ford. I'm calling her Penelope Cruz. Wasn't that Tom Cruise's wife name for real? I think.
I don't know.
Yeah, y'all let me know. I think Penelope Cruz. I think she was married to Tom Cruise. I'm sorry about that, guys, but Penelope Ford. I felt like she had absolutely no business climbing up that ladder, man. Because like anything could have happened. I mean, you're already replacing one of your top women stars that got injured.
Yeah.
And now you guys are taking the risk of having her climb up a ladder in a men's match before her match, taking the chance on her getting injured as well. So if she would have went out there and got injured, who was going to replace her at the last minute?
Right.
So the Penelope Cruz getting involved. I'm sorry, man. Why the fuck am I keep saying Penelope Cruz? Penelope Ford with her sexy self had no business getting involved in that
not
match.
At all. And she took the bump off of it.
Right.
So, I mean, it could have ended bad. It didn't, thankfully.
Speaking of people, I don't mean to get off subject, but moving along. Speaking of people that had absolutely no business in this match, what do you think about your boy Jimmy Havoc?
Dude, okay, he has a white suit on. I just want to let everyone know he had a white suit with blood all over it if you didn't catch the pay-per-view. He wasn't in the match, and he just randomly pops in the ring as someone else is, like, coming out into the ring, if I'm not mistaken.
Right.
It was very confusing. He was just beating up. Who was he beating up? I don't remember. He was just beating up people.
I don't remember exactly.
I don't really know why he was in the match. I guess to just put another body out there, get him on the pay-per-view. But
right. And
I didn't get it.
I felt like, I mean, what's the purpose of having a 9-man? You should have just made it an even 10 men.
Yep.
It was actually 10 men and 1 woman. All right, moving along.
Right.
All right, so how did you feel about the spot towards the end of the match when SCU members ended up at the top of the ladder fighting over the poker chip?
You know, I don't like that poker chip.
I liked it.
You did?
I liked it because, okay, it wasn't for a title.
Right.
They didn't go the WWE route and hang a briefcase.
Right.
Because, you know, TNA did that shit where they started hanging.
And it just looks hokey.
And yeah, it was already a WWE idea. So I'm glad. I like the originality because because it's Double or Nothing. It's based off a casino thing.
It did make sense.
It made sense. And there was also fighting for something. They was fighting for a number one.
But did the chip have to be that big?
Yeah. I like it that big.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, if it would have been a regular sized poker chip, we wouldn't have seen it.
Right,
yeah.
right.
So,
maybe a bag of chips or something. I don't know.
Yeah, but I like that idea. They kept it simple.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was a part of the gimmick for the show.
Yep.
And this match actually had some type of significance to it. The winner is basically the number one contender for the AEW title. They got a guaranteed title match. And for Brian, before I jump to the fucking conclusion, but yeah, that was a good one. But before I jump to that, let's move on. In the end, Brian Cage, the debuting Brian Cage, ended up prevailing, and
he came back and he, a buckle bomb onto a ladder to Luchasaurus, a big guy. And he threw him. That was pretty big. And then moments later, ended up going on to capture that poker chip that you like and I don't like so much. But
I mean, yeah, he's gonna go on to face. I don't know if he's gonna.
Right away.
Because, like I said, they never booked a date for this match. They just said the winner will get an AEW title match.
Yep.
And I think Moxley's going to be the champion. And I wouldn't mind seeing Brian Cage get in there and chop it up with Moxley.
Same.
So that's pretty much all we have for the Casino ladder match. Me personally, if I had to make this match A, B, C, D, or F, me personally, I would give this match a B. How about you, D?
I would give it an F. I thought the match was just a waste of an opportunity. Too many flips, too many kicks, too many botches. It is what it is, and the dude who debuted won.
Right.
Yeah,
that's what I was. Like I say, I know they're trying to build this guy up, but yeah, I think he had absolutely no business winning that. So let's move along, man. Yep. What you got up on the next match?
Next one was another boring match, in my opinion. It was the MJF versus Jungle Boy match. Not much really stuck out for me here. MJF ended up countering a roll-up and rolling up Jungle Boy himself for a cheap win, as MJF should, and he got the win as he should have, because Jungle Boy shouldn't have beat him.
I really wasn't interested in this match because MJF's been out with some type of injury, so he hasn't competed in like weeks.
Whether it was a real injury or not.
Yeah, and never really was a big fan of Jungle Boy. You know, nothing against him, but I think Jungle Boy looks like a 17-year-old kid. Mm-hmm. And he's somebody that's like hard to take serious, especially if they're gonna be pushing this guy like in the heavyweight division. But I forgot AEW don't go off weight classes. Yeah. But if he's somebody that's going to be in the world title picture, he's somebody that'll never be taken serious in the world title picture. Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if you noticed this, but in the crowd, I spotted Vicky Guerrero.
Yeah, I spotted Vicky Guerrero, and I thought it was her, and then later on the commentators confirmed that it was her.